All right, what's going on, guys? Hey, thanks for the comments already. Appreciate it. Philippines in the house. Love it. Love the Filipinos. Work with a bunch of them. But what's going on, guys? Sorry about last week. I had to go home for a funeral. And by the time I got back, man, I just wasn't feeling doing live stream. One of my friends, his son passed, so I had to go back for that. So that's why you didn't get a live stream last week. Capital Mindset's in the house. Like it. Good. Wow. You know, it wasn't really my loss because I didn't really know the kid that well, but when you're around that, man, and I know the family well, it just kind of drains you. And then, you know, so when I got back, I was like, man, I don't feel like doing a live stream to talk about, like, markets and say ridiculous crap. Yeah, whatever. But anyways, let's talk about what's going on in the world. So, oil creeping up again, right? We're going to talk about the oil thing. You know, the central bankers, especially in Europe, and a lot of the zeitgeist I see is that oil is inflationary. It's not. It can lead to price hikes. It's not inflationary. I mean, it's baked in to everything that you buy, so it causes price hikes. But it doesn't cause an expansion of the money supply. And most of the time, if you look, one of the final things that throws an irrational market over, and like I said, I don't know, I can't predict the future. You're buying a truck oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. But I can't predict. Nobody can. You have all these people on here, on YouTube. Yeah, this stock is going to do this. Oil is going to do this or that. We don't know what it's going to do. What I do know is that oftentimes what leads to a contraction is an increase in the oil price. Again, just think of it as an added tax to the economy. Consumers are already pretty stressed. Like, again, I eat pretty well. Yeah, I'm not out there eating caviar off of in sushi off of some model, some 20-year-old model at an elite party. Like, I'm not sitting around doing that. But I eat pretty healthy. You know, a lot of fruit, vegetables, and mostly chicken and steak. Right now, today, I went and got groceries. I haven't even got my steaks yet. That'll be about $35. I paid $180 for my groceries at Publix, right? I could go to Walmart, but Walmart's basically as bad at this point. Now, I'm in a good position, right? With where I am. I'm a single dude, make a pretty decent buck, especially for a single dude. I've pointed this out before. I had an easier time paying my bills in 2019 than I do today. And I make significantly more money at this point. I mean, I even remember in 2020, before COVID, I would go to Walmart. I would get, the thin cut ribeyes. Those are the ones I like at work. I eat the thin cut ribeyes. I would get 3 of the ribeye packs. There's 2 in there, so that'd be 6 steaks. And I would get all of my groceries at Walmart for $100. Today, $210, $220. If oil keeps going up, the cost of everything else is going to keep going up. as the economy heats up, it demands more and more energy. And it just reaches a point where the economy is saturated. Well, meat is still expensive. No, I know that, right? I know they went through, there was a big cattle thing that went on, so we kind of have a shortage. That's not my main point. My main point is, dude, I was getting steak and all of my groceries for the week for $100 to $120. And now I'm spending about $100 more per week on these groceries. Okay. My point by that, don't worry about me. Again, single dude, I'm fine. I can pay my bills. I'd like more money so I could buy more T-bills and shit that is undervalued in the market, but it is what it is. How is a family of 4 feeding their kids? That's my question. So we get oil up to about 140 a barrel. Personally, I don't know if that's going to be the break point. That's just what's said on the internets.com. Because again, I mean, when oil went to 140 before the great financial crisis, that was almost 20 years ago at this point. And we've had a lot of inflation since then. I mean, you can just look at the M2 money supply chart. That's where all your inflation is going to come from. But, so what effect is this going to have? Now, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't think Iran is just going to give up. The Straits of Hormuz stay closed. You're going to either have to send in troops on the ground. I mean, you can't occupy street corners with an F-16. You have to have boots on the ground. So you're going to have to send in troops. Okay, well, what does that look like? We don't know. I certainly believe getting the old Iranian regime out of there is a good thing. Where I've come to with this war as really what it is about the petrodollar. That's really what it is. Okay. But if it works out, it works out. But this is a wait and see scenario. I personally don't think this is going to work out the way we want it to work out. And so you have an already overheated economy. Anybody that's telling you that the market isn't overvalued at this point is clueless or lying to you. Fox News is going to tell you, after we get this worked out, stocks are going to shoot up. Okay, well, you're already only getting a 1.2% dividend, which is either at historic lows or near them. Okay, you're over 5 times book value. Your Buffett indicator is over 200. I mean, before the great financial crisis, I think the Buffett indicator was 100%. You're at 200% now. Michael Burry, George Gammon just put out this video. If you want to watch it, I watch George Gammon's stuff. I like what he says. I don't agree with him on everything, but whatever. But he said, Burry was out there talking about a 77% decline in stocks, something like that. If you just take the Buffett indicator and reverse it, it's a 68% drop. Okay, so it's all Michael Burry, pretty intelligent dude. He's early, but he usually gets things pretty correct. So, I mean, what does this mean? I don't know, man. I'm sticking to sitting most of my portfolio, at least in the tax advantage accounts, to T-bills. Because, it's like, look, dude, I don't know what to tell people. I can't tell you the exact date there's going to be a reversion. And it's not like it's going to revert overnight anyways. It'll take a long time. I'll just sit there till the 10-year yield and the stock market yield cross each other, and then maybe I'm back into the market. But I don't know, man. The whole, if the European Central Bank raises rates because of oil, this is just going to tell you that your central planners are fucking clueless because they keep going, well, oil is inflationary. It's not. It's price hikes. Okay? That's really all it is. You can't create inflation without adding more money to the system. But if Europe raises rates, I mean, I don't know how bad VXUS is overvalued. Let's see what it is. Why can't you just tell me what the fucking PE ratio is, computer? See what it is. Fucking seeing it. Jesus Christ. Why is this so hard to give me the fucking PE ratio on this shit? Alright. I mean, VXUS isn't really too overvalued. Could slide in there. I mean, it's like if I was going to buy anything, it would be something like this. But again, with everything going, like, you know, look. Alright, let me put it to you this way. If most of my portfolio was in VXUS right now, I wouldn't be sweating anything. I wouldn't even really care if, you know, people are like, oh, well, there's overvaluation. I'd be like, set an 18 PE. Not going to sell out of it because we might get some sort of correction. Yeah, VXUS isn't that bad, but the U.S. market is just massively overvalued. So at this point, I just look at it like, I'm just going to sit back and watch. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. But, yeah. I had okay. God damn, 107? Jesus Christ. Not paying. Never splurge for a Wagyu. 4 ounce. Alright, you guys are talking about stat. Yeah, that's why... Honestly, dude, I actually just prefer the ribeyes. I love the fat. I really do. Regular age state. Explain to use why are going so damn high in the USA when we or oil out of the strait and we are next. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, every market works, like, slightly different. So I'd be talking out of school if I really tried to sit here and explain the oil market, because I'm really not that knowledgeable on it. You know, because you have just different oils. Different oils are worth more or less based upon how chemically easy it is to turn them into products. So, I watched this video by this chemical engineer, and he was talking about the Venezuelan oil and why it's not really what everybody thinks. Venezuela has a lot of oil, but this big oil field, he was saying the oil in that is actually extremely dense, almost like a tar. And a lot of that oil would end up going into use in asphalt and stuff like that. So it's about like the price you're going to get for different barrels of oil are going to depend on how easy it is to chemically change them into what you need. So like me sitting here going, oh, well, let's just go down to Venezuela. Again, I don't know why, right? It's probably because, if I had to hazard a guess at this, it's probably because our oil is going to rise because we are a net exporter. Okay, so if we're exporting that oil, if you're looking at it from an oil company's perspective, and let's just throw some numbers out there. I'd say you can get $100 per barrel in the United States versus Korea, which has to import, or Japan, that has to import all their oil. Well, if they're willing to pay you $140 and it's worth the shipping expense, there you go. You're causing competition. So, again, everything in the world is like now dependent on, we're all dependent on each other. This is the global trade system. So what happens in what, like a stock market contagion in Vietnam can affect the market in America. That's just how it is now. To us. Gas is higher here. Harder to book. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know domestically how much oil you guys have in the Philippines. So, yeah, it's just, if your country produces oil, you're probably going to have lower oil prices. If if you don't have any oil reserves, then you're going to have to pay a premium. Oh, dude, yeah. As everything is affected by the price of energy. As it goes up, people go out less. Food's more expensive. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. Lost me thousands in Grab. I never looked at that stock. Grab Holdings. I'm about to look at it. Yeah, I mean, look, dude. I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, that you're paying 180. The price to operating cash flow is 184. I mean, like, yeah, I've never even looked at this stock, but, I mean, we'll look at it real quick. But Grab, Fiscal, and Ryan CFK. I don't know who those guys are, but, I mean, look, right here. This would just be my honest assessment, looking at this for like 2 seconds. Your operating cash flow is negative. Okay? So I don't want to buy it. Okay, when it did go positive, you're paying a price to operating cash flow of 154. In general, and that's what the numbers are, doesn't mean you can't exceed 11. But in general, you want your price to operating cash flow to be under 11. So like the way I look at this, so for me, in my world, right, where I just start. This is just where I start and how I start looking at a stock. The first place I'm going to go, and I'll explain why I do this. And, okay, so I'm going to look at the market cap. It's got a $14 billion market cap. So I'm going to come over here, and what I want to look at is total assets. It's got 11 billion in total assets. That's not really anything that would concern me. But again, one of the reasons why I do that is because I also want to pay attention to the liabilities. So, I mean, from the way I look at it here, right? I don't like the way this is lining up. I don't like the way this is lining up because I have questions. I'm going to come back over here. All right. You're paying $184 for $1 of their operating cash flow. But these other numbers don't make sense to me. Why these would also be so low. Price to sales, but especially your price to book. Right? So what I'm saying is, if this is the right stock. God damn. Well, yeah. If this is the right stock. What I'm saying is, if I just see anything that I don't like when I'm just doing a preliminary look at something, I just move on. You know what I mean? There's 10,000 stocks in the world, and the odds that any of the YouTubers out there are actually pushing great stocks is pretty low. And it's not, I don't believe it's for the reason a lot of people think. If your entire channel is a finance channel, it's one of the reasons why I stopped just doing finance. You almost constantly have to talk about stocks. Nobody wants to hear about how there's stocks are overvalued. Everybody just wants to hear you're going to get rich in the next 15 minutes. You're going to have hookers spitting in your mouth. You're going to be eating sushi off of a, Brazilian model on Jeffrey Epstein's island. That's what they want to hear. And when you come along and you go, hey man, yeah, Palantir looks massively overvalued to me. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, you have like 200 billion or whatever the Palantir's market cap is today. Palantir, if I could spell. All right. Yeah, it's like if you look at Palantir, you have a $360 billion market cap. And you're buying $8 billion in assets for that. So if I was to put this another way to somebody, Palantir actually has a great, it actually has a great balance sheet. You only have $1,412,000,000 in liabilities, but you have $7,488,000,000 in equities, or in shareholder equity. But if you just come over, and I'll throw this up so we can look at it. If you look at this, right? I don't know what Palantir is going to do in the short term. But here's what I do know. Every time this happens, where you're 168, your price to operating cash flow is 168. So you're paying $168 for $1. I'm not going to say this has never worked out, because it probably has somewhere. But what I'm just saying is, if you play the statistical odds, this is going to work out bad for you. And my main point by saying that is, people don't want to hear it. People want to hear you confirm their narrative. So if you're on YouTube, right, and you want views, you're going to tattooed chef. Everybody's going vegan. So here's what you should do. You should buy stock in tattooed fucking trucker's taint, right? This disgusting garbage that isn't even really food. But everybody's going to switch to being a vegan. And when you come along and you look at them and you go, hey bro, look man, your company, it's not even profitable at this point. It's probably not going to work out. Nobody wants to hear that. All people want to hear is this, irrational market is going to go on forever. And, again, everybody's going to be rich in 10 minutes. There's never going to be a market correction again. You know, no matter how many wars are started, no matter what the price of oil is, it is what it is. And that's why I will listen to certain YouTubers, but you got to have something that's based in reality. You got to actually talk about the numbers. If Palantir was trading at 2 times its assets, and everybody was pushing it, and you're looking at it and it's growing, 10, 12% per quarter, I wouldn't say anything. I'd just be like, yeah, maybe. That'll probably work out. I'm looking at the numbers. Maybe I'll even buy some. But that's not what they're doing. They're like, from here, it's going to do this, this, and this. And all I have to say is, do you guys not read about the tech bubble? This is the narrative. Every time. Stock market starts dropping. Trump's going to come out. He's going to say, and I'm doing this for AI to boost everything. That's what's going to happen. But at a certain point, the party has to come to an end. No, I had to come here and do groundwork. This new green. Yeah, I don't know. I don't use any of the delivery services. Grab any of them. Uber Eats. Why am I going to pay somebody literally double for the amount of food when I can just drive there? If I'm going to get something delivered, I'm getting a pizza delivered. I'm not getting McDonald's delivered. McDonald's is for when I'm borderline starving and I just need something, even though I know it's not food. Like, McDonald's is delicious, but it's not actually food. If I can leave the cheeseburger on my kitchen table in a glass case to protect it from flies and leave it there, and then 15 years later, it barely looks like anything happened to it, it's actually not food. So like for me, McDonald's, when I was going home, I'm at the airport, I'm freaking starving, I can't find a good spot in Baltimore. It's fucking Baltimore. Shithole. Don't even have a pizza joint near me in the airport. Right? So I went and got McDonald's. And it was disgusting. But I ate it. Did you guys see that video of that vegan CEO at McDonald's who couldn't even eat his cheeseburger? That was McDonald's CEO eating cheeseburger. First thing that comes up in my feed. This dude is a total vegan. This dude has like 0 testosterone.
The future of home shopping is here, and it's only on Homes.com. Introducing
Chris K here with, you've heard about it, here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame, poppy sort of bun on it. We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious Big Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing, I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Ooh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a Big Arch. It's distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. Yeah,
that dude's a vegan. He doesn't eat McDonald's. Oh, that was hilarious. If they raise rates, yeah, I mean, you can get into the technical, I guess, dude, but again, when oil spikes, when it goes too high, it becomes deflationary. I don't know, man. I really don't. Then TLT moons, I'll be a cutie. Yeah. Like, you know, right now, with where interest rates are, if they raise or they go up, it's not going to bother me in the slightest. Like Gil just said, I'll just buy more. See, the thing is, right? What would I be doing? Okay, hypothetically, if I didn't think the U.S. market wasn't massively overvalued, right? Here's what I would be doing. I would still be loading up on bonds like it's going out of style. Why? Because they're cheap. They're cheap right now. I actually kind of messed up, and I should have just been loading up on them more than I am when interest rates first went up. But I was sitting there and I'm like, yeah, whatever, let's see how this runs. I want to see what's going on. But like, if I was to look at somebody and they said, Jay, I don't want to do a lot of work, how would you set up my portfolio? All right, I'd be like, I'm going to give you the easiest no-brainer portfolio. Don't worry too much about waiting, right? Grab something like the S&P 500, just any index. If the small cap index works better for you, buy that one, right? Whatever is your style. But if somebody was like, dude, I just want an easy thing, I'd be like, okay, we're going to dollar cost average, but just buy what's cheap. Just pay attention to your PE ratios. Don't worry about selling. Just understand market corrections happen. And when rates go up and bonds are cheap, just start loading up the truck on them. Eventually, rates are going to come down, right? And that means probably the stock market is cheaper. Load up on the stock market. Load up on whatever index fund you like, and just don't worry about it. You're probably still going to do great. Even if we get into a bad recession, the people that are going to get killed are not really the people that are in index funds. Okay? Because the real stress is it goes to zero, not that there's a contraction. So, the real people that will be punished are the people that did stupid shit, like loaded up on a bunch of stocks that aren't really profitable or massively overvalued. Those are the people that are going to get destroyed. Again, see Cisco Systems in 2000 or any of the internet companies. I mean, that's how I would do it. If somebody just looked at me and they go, bro, I don't really want to learn this shit. Just tell me what to do. I go, all right, just watch the news, load up on VT, right? When you see those interest rates rise, which means the price is falling, just back up the truck. Don't even question it. Don't sit there going, but bonds at 4% versus 10%. Don't worry about it. Just buy what's cheap. Makes sense, Nike. Yes, sir. Yeah, well, again, if you're a country that doesn't have access to a good deal of oil reserves, the modern economy, the world economy runs on energy. You can just track a chart of the S&P 500 and oil, right? So, of course, they're going to get slammed by what's going on. Yeah, Korea, man, there was massive sell-off in their market. Amit has a lot of calls on Grab. The Fabio, maybe you can explain it, because I still don't understand the whole must-own stocks. Because, like, look, maybe, like, I learned a lesson through this whole irrational market. And I'm going to play it out next time there's an irrational market. And that is, watch the YouTube narrative, then watch the liquidity flowing into these stocks, let it run up, and then sell the fuck out. Because that was one thing, it was a mistake I made. I would just look at the numbers and go, the fuck are you guys talking about? But I didn't realize, I didn't understand the irrationality quite as much. And this was a valuable learning lesson. I would recommend everybody do it next time. There's going to be another irrational market. Watch people like Tom Nash, Amit. When they start, or whoever's new in the space at that point, when they start pushing a narrative, just pay attention to it, look at it, look at the other channels. It's like, Nvidia's going to go to the moon. I was like, yeah. I sat there and I go, yeah, Nvidia's probably going to shoot up. It's probably going to get irrationally overvalued. Palantir, same thing, but I just dismissed that. And that was a mistake I made. Because you can make a lot of money and take very little risk. Again, whatever portion of your portfolio you allocate to individual stocks, whatever it is, whatever you're comfortable with. Could be 5, could be 10%. Well, when your individual stock portfolio in that quarter goes, let's say you do 10% individual stocks. When you get into just evaluate every quarter. You don't have to sit on it. You're all right. I'm just going to kind of watch these stocks. I know they're overvalued. Just rebalance your portfolio. Nvidia, it shot up. Great. I'm going to take 2% in profit. Lock that in to a good index fund or, well, any index fund. Whatever you're doing at the time. Whether it's the bond market, whether it's the stock market. I'm selling Grab for sure after my trip here. They're screwed. Yeah. I'm at the clown. Yeah, dude, I don't, these guys, I don't really pay attention to them anymore. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you. And again, the whole finance thing, there's a lot of interesting stuff out there for me, but latest, greatest stock isn't really it. Because I'm more of an index fund guy. Why? I think it just frees you up. Again, if you do the 5 or 10% individual stocks, you can make a lot of money. But if you really look at, for me, I have the TSP. That means I can put $22,500 per year in there. So really, I have my play accounts. I have my Robinhood, which is just play. And other than that, though, it really doesn't behoove me to buy a lot of individual stocks. Really, the best use of my money is putting as much of it as I can inside the TSP. So that's another reason why I'm not a super individual stock guy. The other part of it is I'm not going to sit around looking at financial statements all fucking weekend. You know, I got things to do. You know, whatever it is. Pay hookers to spit in my mouth. I don't know. Dan Weston claimed it. He claimed Amit has a winning strategy. What? Yeah, I would disagree completely. I I would need to ask Dan about that because he could have been being facetious. But yeah, there's a real question. Do you think Amit even knows what a PE ratio is, to be honest with you? Do you think Amit knows anything that's more complicated than a PE ratio? I don't think that he does. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I'm like Warren Buffett reincarnated. I'm not. Honestly, I would say Fabio knows more than I do. So, I mean, there's a realistic assessment of where you are. But from everything I've seen of Amit, I don't think Amit knows his ass from a hole in the wall. I think that dude's a complete clown. He's living in a lot of these guys on YouTube. A lot of these guys on YouTube are fucking losers. I hate to break that to you. A lot of the influencers, if you met them in real life, you would be like, yeah, this dude's an absolute dork. I'm not going to listen to him. I mean, really, literally, who's on it? That you met this dude at a bar, right? You're sitting there drinking a beer, talking to him about the market. Would you really hang out with this guy? I mean, I wouldn't. Maybe I'm being a dick. But, yeah, it's like... But that's what it is. That's what sells on YouTube. What sells on YouTube is a stupid person saying stupid shit confidently. That's all social media is. There are not really any great minds. You begin to realize this as you get older. Like even these scientists that they trot out that I'm supposed to listen to during COVID, I'm listening to them speak. And I'm just sitting there going, nothing that the way this guy is communicating, nothing stands out to me like this is a special mind. I think a lot of why these guys got big is twofold. As Strongman would say, a parasocial relationship, number one. Number two, they're pushed by the algorithm. Or the algorithm, however you want to say it. It's probably algorithm is better than algorithm. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm retarded. But, guy pops up in a feed, you're just sitting there, you go, whatever, I just need some background noise. You start listening to him. But the algorithm wants to make Google money. Finance is one of the best ways to do it. So, of course, these big creators, and I think they have special deals worked out with agencies and Google, right? Because I got a video taken down from Joseph, I don't know, I can't remember. I think it's Joseph Hogg. I think that's his name. He's supposed to be a prior Marine, and he's supposed to be a CPA or a CFA, right? The stocks this dude pushes are absolute garbage most of the time. And I did a video criticizing a bunch of his stock picks, and it got yanked off of YouTube. That tells me that, number one, he's got some juice, or somebody is sitting around looking to protect him. I actually didn't understand it. I was like, I didn't say anything that negative about the dude. I said he was kind of a dork and he was wrong, but I wasn't sitting there saying awful stuff like I could. Like, I bet this guy sells his ass pussy down at the truck stop. I didn't say any of that. Got taken down. Probably Google protecting its golden goose. It's probably what it is, but I don't know why Dan was saying that again. It is what it is. I don't hate Amit as the new face. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's mostly invested in one stock. Well, yeah, it is what it is, man. I don't know what that was. You know, if I was talking to him, I would just ask him. Maybe at the time, maybe he said something stupid. Bro, this is the thing about so-and-so said this. Oftentimes, I mean, I just a second ago said some stupid shit. I say stupid shit all the time. That if you stopped me and you went, yo, Nagi, you just said this, I might look at you and go, oh, bro, my bad. I shouldn't have said that. That was just brain leakage. That was retarded. It's not in any way accurate. But it is. Well, yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, again, I would have to ask him about it. Doesn't mean I'm going to sour on Dan. Even if he believed that, I would go, bro, help me, because I'm not seeing this. I'm really not. But Dave Short to troll. Well, I'll be doing a live now Wednesdays at 4 p.m. each week. I need to get back out there. I've been busy. Yeah, bro. I mean, you should. But again, YouTube can't dominate your life. Unless it's your job. I get it. Like, I was watching one of Strongman's lives, and there was a guy on there, and I appreciated it. Said, yo, Jay Nagi has a great stream. And I go, yeah, appreciate it, you know. But he said, I just wish he would post more. And I kind of agree with him that I should. But sometimes I look at it and I go, all right, I'm not getting paid. Okay? Not that that is even the foremost part of why I do this. I do my live stream because I enjoy reading your comments and, you know, just saying ridiculous shit. But, again, I probably should post more. But it's like at a certain point, man, if YouTube isn't your job, you can't let it dominate your life. You know, there's a lot of people that are trying to make it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't want to rely on YouTube for my income. That's why a lot of people do a lot of the shit that they do, where you go, that's bizarre. That's a complete 180. And it's a monetary thing. That's really what it is. You know, I like Candace Owens. I like her conspiracies. But a lot of her conspiracies are so over the top. I sit there and I go, all right, yeah, this is entertaining, but this is a reach. You know, can you do conspiracies with a little bit of facts? But again, that's what the algorithm wants. And to troll, Andrew, I'm sure. Well, it is what it is, man. Troll who you got to troll. Yeah, I don't know. What about pissing in our mouths? Jay, I might say that, but what do you mean? Why would I piss in your guys' mouths? Maybe Jeremy, after I get those people on get those people in the financial fortress their money back. Those total freaks. Hey, look, I'm not going to sit there and say that, like, I don't know, insert chick, like Jennifer Aniston in The Breakup, that level, or like Halle Berry. I'm not going to sit there and say that if she wasn't into peeing on my chest that I might not let her. Right? Just, some of us get down that way. Halle Berry, looking at me in her prime going, yeah, we can do this, but I got to pee on your chest first. I'm not saying for sure Halle Berry's going to pee on my chest, but I'd be putting down a towel to let it go down. Is what it is, man. Clown me for loading bonds. Well, yeah, you guys know, I'm not going to say it anymore. You know my opinion. Bro won't see this for 20 minutes. Dude, Gil. All right, we get it. You don't like Dan. To load up on uranium and nuclear. Told me I might be wrong. Bro, not all of us are always going to agree. Later told him to buy nuclear when I was... Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I probably should have bought some nuclear. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty... Bro, to be honest with you, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at with the 10-year. I did, I had to take some profits. Bank of New York stock, overvalued. So I took about half of that off the table. And I put that in the TLT. So I'm happy with that decision. Yeah, bro, I get it. Yo, right? Substack. He's charging people $7 a month for access to his analysis articles. Yeah, it is what it is, man. It's buffoonery. I asked him what his credentials are because he looks like he's 14 years old. He said he will have an associate's degree in business soon. He has zero... Bro, the sad thing is, people are going to see this dude on YouTube. And they're going to assume that he knows what he's talking about. Because, it's the halo effect. And all he's going to do is get people their cheeks clapped. Whatever, man. Can't be... Yeah, but... I mean, I don't know what this guy's stock picks are. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know why people do anything. No, you're good, bro. It is what it is. I'm just covering comments. Philippines Grab will be destroyed by its new competitor. It's cheaper. What is it? It's green GSM. Charges more than... Yep. No, you're good, guys. Yeah, I did... Jay, he's trying to clown me each day for loading up on bonds while they... Bro, here's the beauty of this stuff, right? When it works out, you can just go into his comment section and start clowning him for it. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Let me run. I got to go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'm going to talk about a family member. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so right now I'm making over $500 a month on the bonds in my portfolio. I sold out, I think it was October 30th, in my Vanguard, Roth IRA. I don't know why I was struggling with that. It just was. In my Vanguard. I went over to the 10-year Treasury. It was October 29th or 30th. Now, you can go look at where the S&P 500 is now. It's below that. Okay? And then I switched over my TSP into the government bond fund. Okay. So I'm making that. And nobody's made any money, right? I mean, I realize they're unrealized gain. The market is below where it was October 30th. And to be fair, you can shoot back. Again, if you're long-term hold, your capital gains are low and your dividends low. So my step will sit there and argue with me, telling me that I am wrong for what I'm doing. And it is infuriating because my stepdad didn't even know what a PE ratio was until I tried to explain it to him, and he still doesn't know what a PE ratio is. Okay? It pisses me off, but at the end of the day, I go, well, I think the market's overvalued and due for a correction. It's going to be great to just sit there and look at my stepdad smiling. Right? I think that should be your attitude towards Dan. I don't know why Dan is saying what he's saying you're stupid for picking up bonds cheap. I don't know why he's saying that. But, if things work out the way we suspect, and there's a massive correction, well, you're just going to be able to go into his comments and troll him the whole time and be like, remember when I told you to buy bonds? Well, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, I wouldn't even really worry about it, dude. Just go online and troll him. Who cares? Anyways. Alright, I did a bunch of the comments. I'm going to go for a little bit longer because I wanted to talk about New York. You know what I really want to do? I want to talk really quick about... I'm going to talk about New York, and then I'm going to talk about Afroman. Because Afroman is an absolute legend for what he just did. But it's almost like these people are just living a different planet than me. Kathy Hochel asks New Yorkers to return. Okay. All right. Here, I don't know which one I want to bring up. I'm going to bring up this Yahoo article. Okay. This is like from the how did you not see this coming files, right? This is so funny to me. Kathy Hochul pleads for wealthy New Yorkers to return from red states like Florida, Texas, as tax base has been eroded. Now, I literally saw a video with this woman going, we have a lot of benefit programs in New York that we need to pay for. We need to bring wealthy residents back. New York Governor Kathy Hochul indicated that the Empire State needs wealthy individuals paying taxes to help fund social programs, but noted that the state's tax base has been eroded. During remarks at Politico's New York Agenda Albany Summit event last week, the Democratic governor explained that she needs individuals with a high net worth to support generous social programs that we want to have in our state. She highlighted the issues by suggesting that wealthy individuals should visit Palm Beach, Florida, to see who you can bring back home because our tax base has been eroded. It's amazing. Remember a minute ago when I was talking and I said, during COVID, the scientists that they would trot out in a desperate attempt to get me to take more of their poison shots, okay? More than the 2 I had already taken, which I want to punch, somebody in the dick for myself, actually, for being on fucking pharmaceutical drugs and not really paying attention to the narrative. But this woman is delusional. This is the same woman who told a bunch of people that New York's a progressive state and if you don't like it, hit the road. Well, they did that and they left. What do you think the expression on this woman's face would be, right? I'm a former New Yorker living down here in Florida, and her and somebody else comes back to me and goes, hey, you should consider moving back to New York, which I actually love the state of New York and the people, to be honest with you. I like most people from New York City. I love them, to be honest with you too. But she's sitting there explaining, you should come back to New York State because we have generous social programs that we want to use you as a tax donkey to fund. Like, what is going through this idiotic human's skull that she's sitting there going, well, we need to get the wealthy back in New York because we need them to pay for our social programs. This woman is a collectivist, and I don't even think she realizes that she is. It's like, well, we need you to pay for social programs. Why would I pay for social programs I don't use and wouldn't be available to me if I needed them? Well, you have money. How much money do you need? I need whatever money I'm making. It's not yours. Well, if you have $1 billion, you have too much money. Said who? I just don't understand why you don't want to come back to New York. I don't understand why you don't want to come back to New York and fund our social programs. Why don't you want to come back here and give us access to your money? It's like you want to look at this woman and go, have you ever heard of the Laffer curve? Okay? Art Laffer, the economist. It's the Laffer curve. As you increase the tax rate, it's up into about 20%. After about 20%, it becomes diminishing returns. Okay, because the wealthy, they have access to the best lawyers and accountants. They have businesses. They can just up and leave. This woman seems to think we're still living in 1900, where it's like, well, if you don't like the taxes we're levying against your company, you can just shut it down and leave. Somebody will be right in here. No, the dude's looking at you and he goes, all right, I'll just set up my headquarters in like Nashville, right? We'll still be doing business in New York, but I'm not stationed there. So the money that I make outside of the state of New York is you no longer have access to. Well, we have generous social programs. Right. Who the fuck said I want to pay for your generous social programs? Also, I don't know if she's aware of this, and I would love to have the conversation. New York State's gun laws are unconstitutional. She would probably be like, all right, no, it's with it. No, it's not in the Constitution. It says shall not be infringed, right? Oh, you got to come to our state. You're wealthy. Oh, but you can't actually own a gun. You can hire private security. It's actually amazing to me how dim-witted these people that run the world are. And again, I don't know if that's just the narrative she's pushing, but why would anybody actually listen to this woman? All right, that's all I got on that. It's so stupid. It's the same as these minimum wage laws. It's like you don't have to be an economist, but pick up a book, take a class, understand the very basics of it. We're going to institute a $50 minimum wage, because it's really difficult to fill that insert X position. It's hilarious. But I'm going to do this last one, and then I'm probably going to get out of here. But Afroman literally is my hero at this point. Lick 'em Low Lisa is an instant classic. So, if you guys don't know... Yeah, Dan. Alan. Sorry, I don't know why I said Dan. Yeah, but brother. Appreciate it. Alright, if you guys don't know. So, Afroman has his house raided in Ohio. And they break down his door. And they take his money. And then he starts doing exactly what we should all do. If the cops show up at your house, right, and they act like dicks. What do I mean by acting like a dick? I don't mean the police come, they establish control of the scene, they're polite and professional. Sir, need you to step out over here, okay? We're going to have to cuff you. I understand. Cuff up. And then they go in your house and trash it. That's being a dick. Just going through your stuff and maybe not making it and putting it back as neat as they found it isn't being a dick. I think a lot of people delight in the power, because really what it is when the cops come in your house and they go after your dog to shoot it, what they're telling you is that you're in control. And I've thought about this multiple times. What would I do if I was in a position where, I'm being cooperative, my dog is, penned up and not a threat? If a police officer had to dispatch my dog because it was a threat to the officer, I understand. Right? But a lot of times in these raids, they'll go in there, they'll kill your dog, leave the corpse there, because they want to instill fear in you and that they're in control, right? So I've thought about this before, because I'd watched these videos, and it's downright infuriating. Like, I watched this fucking DEA agent just terrifying these kids. They shot the dog, and it was all over a little bit of weed. And I was just sitting there going, oh, I'm going to defame these motherfuckers if it happened. I would literally be on TV if somebody was interviewing me and go, yeah, the cop that shot my dog, Officer Dickhead, I'd give his name out. I'm going to piss on his fucking grave if I outlive him. And in all honesty, would I directly pull out my wiener and pee on the cop's grave that shot my dog for no reason? No. I'm going to pee in a bottle and bring it to the cemetery and just dump it all over his grave. And I'm going to show the bottle. I'm going to take a picture. And it's going to say, Officer so-and-so shot my dog. I swore to him that I would piss on his grave. And I would dump the piss on the grave. But I wouldn't do it in video form. Right? So that you could actually trace me to it. But anyways, that's me. But I've thought about this. And Afroman took down these cops in the most epic way. I don't know if I'm going to get my video yanked, but we gotta look at this. Lick 'em low, Lisa. Look him. It comes right up. This is the greatest thing. Dude, Afroman is an absolute legend for this. You have no idea how happy this makes me.
U.S. rapper Afroman has defeated 7 sheriff's
He
deputies
showed up
force
in
after
an
they sued
American...
him for releasing an album mocking them after police raided his home. The officers broke down his door in 2022 as part of a drug and kidnapping investigation, but the raid didn't lead to any charges. Afroman responded by releasing an album about the incident using home security footage and viral videos that made fun of the deputies. The album's main track, Lemon Pound Cake, was inspired by a moment during the raid when one deputy took a second look at the dessert on his kitchen counter.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. No kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake.
The deputies asked for $3.9 million in damages, saying they suffered humiliation, emotional distress, embarrassment, and damage to their reputations. Afroman told the jury he had the right to create artistic and critical content about government officials. U.S. rapper Afroman has defeated...
Dude, absolute legend. Absolute legend. Oh, what is this guy?
Is it true that Mr. Foreman called you a hunchback?
Yes.
And specifically compared you to Quasimodo,
Yes.
the Disney hero?
I'm assuming that's who it is.
And you would agree that Mr. Foreman is an artist subject to exaggeration?
I guess so, yeah.
And nobody would ever think you're Quasimodo from the book, correct?
Yes, people think stupid things.
Is it true that Mr. Foreman called you a hunchback?
Yes.
And specifically,
This is the most epic way. This is the most epic way you can take down these cops. This is the funniest thing I have ever seen. He makes an entire video about it.
Lieutenant Lick'em-Low Lisa ate my ex-wife just like pizza. Is that what you understood that to say?
Yes, sir.
We have another video.
All right, I'm gonna call this a stream at that, but that might be the greatest takedown when there was police overreach that has ever occurred. Like, he mocked them, they sued him, and he won in court wearing an American flag suit and American flag sunglasses. It's just too funny, man. Alright, guys. Well, let me say this. Hey, I appreciate everybody's comments and tuning in. Thanks for watching my live. I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll be back next week. And yeah, man, much love. I hope everybody does well. So thanks for watching, and I'm out.